Remember the Alamo. My name is Osarinas, and my Cajita project focuses on the concept of community and cultural wealth. It connects with the Alamo by giving them resilience, familia, history capital, linguistic, and cultural capital. The resilience of Tejano communities now connects with the resilience of the American soldiers during the war. Even though they knew they were heavily outnumbered by the Mexicans, they still fought to the death. The familia capital connects with how Mexican families are preserving their narratives and beliefs instead of letting ICE and deportation dictate their lives. Some families are taking matters into their own hands and doing what they need to survive. This picture of Santa Anna's capture shows the themes of community and cultural wealth because it highlights the social capital of the fighters working together as a united community. The resistance capital shown by Tejano and Texan groups standing up against Santa Anna's power. They never gave up and they all came together to win. The phrase "Remember the Alamo" on the top of my cajita was chanted by American soldiers after they found out that the Alamo was overtaken by the Mexican soldiers. They later won the final battle in less than 20 minutes and defeated all the Mexican soldiers and took in capture of Santa Ana. The main colors I used in my cajita were light brown, dark brown, and green. The two browns highlight the originality and the real Alamo. The green shows the surrounding scenery of the Alamo, which the Mexican soldiers used to their advantage. I also included little figurines and mini soldiers in my cajita. If you would notice, there are many more Mexican soldiers, which are brown, than the green soldiers, the Americans. I included more Mexican soldiers than American soldiers because this is how it was during the battle. The Americans were outnumbered around 20 to 1. There were about 20 Mexican soldiers to 1 American soldier. This was one of the main reasons they lost, but it was one of the main reasons this was such an amazing and interesting fight. They never backed down. The bravery of the American soldiers shows themes of courage in the face of overwhelming odds, sacrifice, and unity and brotherhood. The phrase "fire the cannons" was in a movie I watched about the Alamo. The Americans were discouraged to fight the Mexican army because they saw how many soldiers they had, comparing it to the little amount they had. While they were trying to make a truce, an American colonel ordered them to fire a cannon, displaying their confidence and bravery and not giving up and not being scared. This shows themes of resistance and defiance, which also Mexican families show, not giving up and protesting against ICE and the government and deportation. The decision to not kill Santa Anna after the Alamo shows themes of mercy and restraint. Instead of seeking revenge for the Texans who died, leaders chose to spare him so they could secure independence through negotiation. The scenery of this makeshift battlefield with figure soldiers was how the Americans were overtaken. They were outnumbered and overpowered. The Mexican immigrants now are overpowered by ICE and deportation systems. Some decide to go back to Mexico themselves, but others stay in America and stand for what they believe is right and their own. The negligence of Santa Anna was one of the main reasons they lost. Firstly, they didn't have to send their soldiers straight at the Alamo. They did have the element of surprise, but they still lost many soldiers. After they won that battle, they split up their numbers, which is discouraged by other generals, but he did not listen. His smaller group followed the Americans farther into their territory, which was a trap because they were caught by surprise and ended up losing very quickly. The negligence of deportation systems is equally as ignorant because some people in holding are not even illegal. They are racially profiled and put into holding. The conditions are also very harsh with poor living care, bad food, and even racist officers that don't care about others. The main themes that I believe the Alamo represents are respect and pushing back against the forces that discriminate against them. Also, cultural and survival of their identity for many Mexican Americans, the Alamo was a turning point in their lives. Their language and culture was suppressed and they were being pushed out of power. That's what modern day governments are trying to do by taking away schools that teach students about the reality of life and Mexican American culture being suppressed. The theme of reclaiming historical truth and resisting cultural erasure connects the Alamo to Mexican American beliefs and modern protests. Thank you for your attention. This is the end of my Alamo Cajita.